Good morning. Let us study today Moss-Bayer spectroscopy. What is called Moss-Bayer spectroscopy? It is also called nuclear gamma ray resonance spectroscopy. This spectroscopy occurs in the gamma ray of electromagnetic spectrum. Gamma ray is one of the electromagnetic rays, electromagnetic radiation. In this, we will study the basic principle. For example, recoil energy and Doppler effect. This spectroscopy is mainly based on recoil energy and Doppler shift. And in the second part, we'll study the instrumentation and then we'll study the important parameters. What are the parameters obtained from Moss-Bayer spectroscopy? Isomer shift. There are three important parameters to characterize the sample, the compounds, quadrupole splitting, magnetic interactions, and their applications. Various applications in chemistry, physics, biology, and geology, etc. This spectroscopy was discovered by the German physicist, a graduate student, while he was studying PhD. He discovered this Moss-Bayer effect. This effect we will study here, also known as nuclear gamma ray resonance spectroscopy. Moss-Bayer, it was discovered by German physicist Rudolf Moss-Bayer in 1958, and he received the Nobel Prize for Physics for this invention in the year 1961. What is called Moss-Bayer effect? It involves resonant absorption of gamma radiation, causing transition between nuclear spin state, causing nuclear transitions, nuclear energy level transitions, that is I equal to 1 by 2 to 3 by 2. And the discovery of recoil free emission or recoil less emission we will study further. We will explain. This effect is called Moss-Bayer effect. This is the basis of Moss-Bayer spectroscopy. It is a Moss-Bayer spectroscopy is a nuclear phenomenon. Similarly, there are two other spectroscopy, NMR spectroscopy, NQR spectroscopy. They are also due to nuclear phenomena. NMR occurs due to nuclear spin. It can spin. For example, a nuclei can spin either in clockwise or anti-clockwise. You have studied NMR spin transition. Okay, this is different from Moss-Bayer spectroscopy, and you also have NQR, nuclear quadrupole resonance spectroscopy. We will study next. These figures makes you to understand the Moss-Bayer spectroscopy. What is the basic principle of Moss-Bayer spectroscopy? From these diagrams, we can explain the Moss-Bayer effect, etc. For example, you know cobalt 57 is the source of gamma radiation. Cobalt 57 is the source of gamma radiation with the T half-life period 270 days. Due to electron capture, it is converted into iron 57. Cobalt 57 is converted into iron 57 due to electron capture by capturing the core electron. One, that is 27 proton plus 1 electron. Therefore, 1 proton is converted into neutron. Okay, therefore 26, the atomic number becomes 26 after electron capture. Now, the cobalt 57 is converted to iron 57. It is in the excited state. With the spin I equal to 3 by 2. Now it goes to ground state I equal to 1 by 2 by emitting the gamma ray with energy 14.4 kilo electron volt. Okay, this is the mechanism of emission of gamma ray from cobalt 57. This is used as the source. Cobalt 57 is used as the source, and in this case the source emits the gamma ray which is observed by the sample, again ion sample. The sample is of same isotope as the source, so iron 57 source, iron heme compound, iron sulfur cluster or minerals, etc. And after absorption, as you see, the gamma ray is emitted. Gamma ray is emitted from the source. It is observed by the sample. Now, if the ion sample is in different chemical environment, if it is in different crystal environment or different octahedral or tetrahedral ion, then there will be difference in the energy level. We will see further. There will be difference. There will be isomer shift because of the difference in the chemical environment. As a result, the energy gap between these will not be same as the source. Will not be same as the source. Now, because of the absorbance, Hager-Muller counter is used as detector. Therefore, due to absorption, there is a dip in the spectrum. This spectrum is obtained, and this shift is called isomer shift from the source. Okay, so these diagrams explain the fundamentals of mass-wire spectroscopy. There are different types of spectroscopic techniques depending upon the electromagnetic radiation wavelength or energy. Depending upon the wavelength or energy of the electromagnetic radiation, there are different types of spectroscopic techniques, as you see here. There are different types of electromagnetic spectrum depending upon the wavelength and frequency of the electromagnetic radiation used. For example, gamma ray is used to cause nuclear state transition in mass wire spectroscopy, whereas in NMR, nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, in ESR spectroscopy, in NMR nuclear spin resonance spectroscopy, radio waves or electromagnetic radiations used to cause nuclear spin transitions, and also NQR, nuclear quadrupole resonance transitions. And you have gamma ray spectroscopy, X-ray absorption spectroscopy or X-ray emission spectroscopy, photoelectron spectroscopy, UV visible spectroscopy occurs in this wavelength region 10 power minus 8 to 10 power minus 6 meter. IR spectroscopy is also called vibrational spectroscopy. IR radiation is used, IR electromagnetic radiation is used to cause vibrational level transitions, and microwave is used to observe ESR spectroscopy and also is used to affect rotational level transitions. So these are the various electromagnetic spectrum, electromagnetic spectroscopic techniques depending upon the wavelength of the electromagnetic radiations used. As I said earlier, there are two important terms in mass wire spectroscopy: recoil energy and Doppler effect. These are very important to understand the mass wire spectroscopy. In order to understand the mass wire spectroscopy, we need to know what is called recoil energy, what is called Doppler shift. We will see first recoil energy. What is called recoil energy or recoil effect? You know, when you fire a bullet from a gun, when you fire a bullet from a gun, the bullet moves forward, the gun moves backward. You see, similarly, whenever a high energy particle, whenever a gamma ray, high energy gamma radiation is released from the source, at rest, the releasing body moves backward. The releasing body feels a kickback or it is pushed backward. For example, when the source iron 57 emits a gamma ray, it is pushed back. You see, just like gun is pushed back, whereas the bullet, the gamma ray, is moving forward. Okay, now this is called recoil energy. What is the recoil energy? It is calculated by using this formula. E recoil energy is equal to E gamma square divided by 2 mc square. We will see again further. So, the energy of the gamma ray is less than the natural energy of transition. For example, E gamma ray emitted equal to less by, because some of the energy, the gamma ray emitted from the source, a part of the energy is wasted or used as recoil energy. Therefore, the energy of the gamma ray is less than the energy of nuclear transition. Okay. So, similarly, for a nucleus at rest to absorb the gamma ray, the energy of the gamma ray should be slightly less than the natural energy because of the recoil energy. How is recoil energy calculated? By using this formula, where E gamma equal to energy of gamma ray. Energy difference between the ground state and excited state, that is 14.4 kilo electron volt. We have already seen in the first figure, you see. Now, the energy of the gamma ray emitted is now less because of recoil effect. Therefore, the energy of gamma ray emitted is equal to nuclear transition energy minus recoil energy. Okay. M is the mass of the source nuclei. M is the mass of the source nuclei and C velocity of light. Now, the energy of recoil effect depends upon the effective mass of the nucleus. Suppose if it is in the solid matrix, suppose if the source is not in the gaseous state, if it is in the gaseous state, it will move back when gamma ray is emitted or when gamma ray is fired. Okay, but suppose if the source is in the solid state, then the recoil energy will be zero because of the effective mass, because it is in the solid state, the effective mass is very large. Therefore, the recoil energy is approaching zero. Okay, so the recoil effect decreases when the effective mass increases, that is in the solid state. So, for the free nuclei, this nuclear resonance, that is absorption or emission of gamma ray by identical nuclei, is not observable. Okay, but when nuclei is present in solid state, there is very little loss as recoil energy. Okay, because of this is because of recoil energy of the sample as well as source. For example, you have sample in the gaseous state. It will also because of absorption, here emission, due to emission there will be recoil effect. Similarly, because of absorption, there will be recoil effect. So because of that, there is not observable. Okay. So when the nuclei is present in the solid matrix, when it is present in solid matrix, and the recoil free emission, recoil free absorption, both the source and the sample are in mass biospectroscopy. Please remember, both the source and the sample are in the solid matrix, so that there will be no recoil energy at all. Therefore, recoilless, in the base, in the first slide I have shown recoilless emission or absorption. That is the basis of this mass Bayer spectroscopy, mass Bayer effect. So again, in solid matrix, the recoil energy goes to zero because the effective mass is very, very large. Okay, so the denominator is very, very large. Therefore, recoil energy becomes zero. The second reason is momentum can be conserved due to negligible movement of the nucleus, because it is in the solid state. There will be no movement due to recoil. Therefore, the momentum is conserved. So, for nuclei in a solid matrix, E gamma ray equal to E nuclear transition minus E recoil. Since E recoil is equal to 0, therefore E gamma ray equal to, there will be, so it will be observable. Now the nuclear resonant absorption emission is observable. This is called mass Bayer effect, which results in the resonant absorption and emission of gamma rays. Let us see the basic principle of mass Bayer spectroscopy as we have discussed earlier. It involves recoilless emission and recoilless absorption of gamma rays by nuclei in source or in source and sample. And next, second point, we have already seen atoms in the source, atoms as absorber are in the same or the same isotopes. Atoms, source atom emitting gamma ray must be the same isotope as atoms in sample absorbing them. Okay. Suppose if the emitting and absorbing nuclei were in identical environment, if the source and the sample are in identical environment, then there will not be any shift, isomer shift. They are same, one and the same. Then the transition energies would be equal and nuclear resonance. Therefore, there will be no isomer shift. Okay, del equal to 0. Because of the difference in chemical environment, in the sample, for example, octahedral coordination or tetrahedral coordination or 5 coordination, 6 coordination, etc., it will cause the shift in, this will cause the shift in the nuclear energy levels. For example, due to the difference in the chemical environment of the iron 57 nuclei in different compounds, the energy levels are different. Therefore, suppose due to chemical environment, the energy difference may be larger. Suppose the energy, in some other cases, the energy difference is less. So, in order to bring resonance, the energy of the gamma ray emitted must be the same in order to cause resonance absorption. So, if the energy levels, the energy gap are different, then to bring the nuclei in resonance, okay, the energy of gamma ray is increased slightly by means of Doppler effect moving towards the sample, and the energy of the gamma ray is decreased by moving away from the sample. Okay, so Doppler effect is very important to carry out mass wire spectroscopy. Okay, in the next we will study what is mass wire spectroscopy, what is Doppler effect. As I said earlier, Doppler effect is very important in order to observe mass wire spectroscopy. Mass wire spectroscopy is based on Doppler effect. Okay, what is Doppler effect? It is very simple. When a train is moving towards you, when a train is moving towards you, the you will observe the increase in the pitch. There will be increase in the pitch. When it moves away from you, when the train moves away from you, the pitch, there will be decrease in the pitch. Okay, what is, for example, when, let us see here, if the source is moving towards the sample, the energy of the gamma ray increases, the frequency of gamma ray increases. Okay, when the source is moving away from the sample, then the energy of the gamma ray, the frequency of the gamma ray is less to cause the transition because of the isomer shift. Okay, so a common example, what is Doppler effect? Doppler effect or Doppler shift is the change in frequency or wavelength of a wave in relation to an observer who is moving relative to the wave source. Okay, so compared to the emitted frequency, the received frequency is higher when it is approaching or lower during the recession. How is Doppler shift? The change in gamma ray energy due to the motion, due to the movement of source. For example, the velocity of the source, moves at 1 millimeter per second. Per second, it moves 1 millimeter towards the sample. Okay, and in the opposite case, the source moves at 1 millimeter per second, then what will be the change in gamma ray energy? It is calculated by using this formula, delta E equal to V into E gamma divided by C, where V is the velocity of the source, 1 meter per second, into energy of the gamma ray emitted, 14.4 into 10 power 3 electron volt, divided by velocity of light. So delta E equal to 4.8 into 10 power minus 8 electron volt. This is the increase in energy. This is the increase in energy or frequency when the source is moving towards the sample, and this is the energy decreases, the energy of the gamma ray decreases by this amount while it is moving away from the sample. Okay, we will see further in the part 2, instrumentation and applications, etc. What are the parameters obtained from the mass wire spectroscopy? Good morning, welcome back. Let us continue mass wire spectroscopy part 2. In this session, we will learn about mass wire instrumentation, mass wire spectroscopy instrumentation, and what is isomer shift, what is called isomer shift, what are its uses. In the part 1, we have studied the basic principle, especially the recoil energy. There are two important terms used to understand the mass wire spectroscopy. It is also called nuclear gamma ray resonance spectroscopy. The two important terms were discussed in part 1 are recoil energy, Doppler shift. Okay, in this we will learn instrumentation of mass wire spectroscopy and isomer shift. It is one of the parameter obtained from the mass wire spectrum. Here I have shown the skeleton of the basic components present in mass wire instrument. What are the basic components present in the mass wire instrument? It consists of four components. It consists of four major components. One, mass wire drive. It is used to, this is source, it is used to move the source towards the sample or away from the sample. We have seen this is to cause Doppler shift. This is the drive is moved either forward or backward to cause Doppler shift. For example, because of the isomer shift between the source and sample. See, the source and sample are different. Therefore, the energy levels, the nuclear energy levels are different. The gamma ray energy emitted due to the transition between the two levels does not match with the sample energy gap because of the difference in isomer shift, because of the different chemical environment, because of the different chemical environment in the source and the sample, there will not be any resonance transition. So the sample, the source is moved towards using mass wire drive to increase the gamma ray energy or to match with the energy gap of the sample, or the source is moved away from the sample so that the energy of the gamma ray is decreased due to Doppler shift. We have already calculated in part 1, so as to cause the resonant transition. Okay, so mass wire drive is used to move the source relative to the sample, towards the sample or away from the sample. Source cobalt 57 is used as the source for gamma ray emission. It is generally kept at room temperature. Collimator is used to filter the gamma rays or used to narrow down the gamma rays to convert into narrow beam of gamma rays to fall on the sample. The sample container, this is the sample container where sample is kept. Sample container contains the sample to be analyzed. It must be the sample, remember, both source and sample must be in solid phase so that there will be recoil less emission, recoil less absorption. It must be in solid phase or crystalline structure as in nuclear quadrupole resonance. In nuclear quadrupole resonance, it is also the sample must be in solid state. It usually requires a large amount of sample. We need a large amount of sample for running mass wire spectrum. The sample is applied as a thin layer, thin film on sample holder and then irradiated. The detector is used to get the mass wire spectrum. Usually optical detector or Geiger-Müller counter is often used as detector. Because of the absorbance, the signal intensity decreases as in the mass wire spectrum. So these are summarized. What are the basic, how does it work? How does mass wire spectroscopy instrument work? The basic components are source, sample, detector and a mass buyer drive to move the source towards the sample or away from the sample. Most commonly in mass buyer spectroscopy, the source is moved either toward away from the sample. The source is moved with velocity, varying velocity linearly with the time. So the unit of velocity is millimeter per second is the conventional energy unit used in mass buyer spectroscopy. There is another possibility. Here we have moved the source. We can also move the sample. We can also move the sample as is done with the synchrotron mass buyer spectroscopy. So it is also possible to carry out the mass buyer spectroscopy by using the source stationary and oscillate or move the sample in synchrotron mass buyer spectroscopy. Here, what are the elements, isotopes of elements or mass buyer active? This is the periodic table. We have more than 100 elements. But not all of them are mass buyer active. Not all the elements are, not all the isotopes are mass buyer active. Those studied widely are shaded with the black. For example, iron, ruthenium isotopes are widely studied, and tin, lead, tellurium, iodine, tungsten, iridium, gold. Gold is used, mass buyer spectroscopy is used to check the purity of the gold, whether it is 100% pure or it is impure gold. So mass buyer spectroscopy is used in checking the purity of the gold, etc. So from the mass buyer spectrum, what are the spectral parameters obtained? What are the parameters obtained from the mass buyer spectrum? There are three important parameters obtained from mass buyer spectrum. They are isomer shift, quadrupole splitting, magnetic splitting, nuclear Zeeman splitting or hyperfine splitting. These are the three important parameters obtained from mass buyer spectrum. Let us first study isomer shift. What is called isomer shift? It depends on the oxidation state of the metal iron 57 oxidation state. There are several oxidation states of iron: Fe2, Fe3, Fe4, Fe5, etc. Spin state, low spin, high spin, etc. Nature of ligands. Isomer shift depends on oxidation state, spin state, nature of ligands, coordination number, tetrahedral, octahedral, trigonal pi pyramid, geometry, octahedral, tetrahedral, covalency, electron shielding. For example, how much d orbital electrons shield the outer s orbital electrons, electron withdrawing power of the ligands, electronegative groups, etc. So isomer shift is used to obtain mainly the oxidation state of the metal atom. This is the nuclear energy level diagram for the source iron 57. This is the nuclear energy level diagram for the sample. Why they are different? Why the energy levels are different? Because of the difference in the chemical environment. This is metallic iron 57. This is a compound. This is a compound iron sulfur cluster or ferric chloride, etc. They have different chemical environment. Because of the different chemical environment, the energy levels will be different. Therefore, the gamma ray energy does not match with the gamma ray. The energy of the gamma ray emitted does not match with the energy gap to cause a resonance transition. Therefore, Doppler shift is used. Doppler effect is used. That is, the source is moved towards the sample. The source is moved towards the sample so that the energy of the gamma ray is increased by delta E. You please go through part 1. The energy of the gamma ray is increased slightly by moving the source towards so as to cause the transition, resonant transition. If the energy gap is larger, suppose if the energy gap is smaller than the source, then the source is moved away from the sample so that the energy of the gamma ray is decreased to cause the resonance transition. Therefore, you see this, when there is no shift, del equal to 0 millimeter per second. Here, because of the different chemical environment, there will be isomer shift. Isomer shift therefore arises due to slightly different nuclear energy levels. You see, slightly different nuclear energy levels in the source and the absorber. Because of the differences in the s electron environment, differences in the s electron environment in the source and the absorber sample. For example, iron mononuclear complexes. There are different iron complexes. They have different chemical isomer chemical shift. Why they have different isomer shift? Because of the differences in the electronic arrangement. You see, there are different oxidation states. There are different oxidation states of iron. There are different spin states of iron. There are different electronic configurations. In the case of Fe2, low spin, then S equal to 0. In the case of iron, in the high spin state, S equal to 2. D5, Fe3 with the D5 electronic configuration, and in the low spin, S equal to 1 by 2, S equal to 5 by 2 in the high spin. Similarly, Fe4, Fe5, you have S equal to 1 by 2. So, there are different oxidation states, spin states of iron. Therefore, the mass-wire spectra of these different complexes, iron complexes, are different. Okay, we will see. So, isomer chemical shift arises mainly due to the s electron charge density at the nucleus. Due to the s electron charge, because s electrons are very highly penetrating. You have studied in quantum mechanics, s electrons are highly penetrating. It is present at the nucleus. Because of the s electron density present at the nucleus, there is an isomer shift. So this is minus electron nucleus plus. This leads to Coulombic interaction called monopole interaction. This is isomer shift is also called Coulomb interaction. Okay, this changes the nuclear energy levels. This changes the energy gap between the ground state and excited state. So any difference in s electron environment between the source and the sample produces a chemical isomer shift in the resonance energy of the transition. The mathematical equation used to calculate the isomer shift is given as follows: del equal to 2 by 3 pi Ze square absolute value modulus psi naught absorber square psi naught source square into average value r square excited state minus r square average value ground state. There are two important terms in the isomer shift equation. Electronic property, the first term varies with the electronic property, the second term varies with the nuclear property. The isomer shift depends only on the first term, electronic property term. Psi depends on psi electron density, s electron density, psi naught. Psi depends on the s electron density. This is nothing but psi square is electron density. Okay, so it depends on the s electron density at nucleus. This is affected by the s electron density is influenced by the d electrons because of the screening effect. D electrons, for example, 3d6 4s2 you have. So that case, d6 electrons screens the 4s orbital electrons. Therefore, the s electron density is influenced by the screening effect, electron withdrawing effect, electron releasing effect, etc. Here, r is the radius in the excited state of the nucleus, r is the nucleus, iron 57 nucleus in the ground state. Isomer shift, it shifts the whole spectrum positively or negatively. For example, Fe2, it is shifted in the positive direction, whereas Fe2 in the low spin state, it is Fe3, it is shifted in the negative direction. Fe4, it is shifted in the negative direction. It shifts the whole spectrum positively or negatively depending upon the s electron density. The isomer shift sets the centroid of the spectrum. We will see in the next quadrupole splitting. The isomer shift represents the centroid of the mass wire spectrum. As there are several ion compounds with the different oxidation states, different spin states. They have different isomer shift value. This is isomer shift range for Fe2 in the high spin state, in the low spin state here. Okay, as the shift cannot be measured directly, it is measured relative to alpha ion 57 nuclei as the standard. It is the standard taken for measuring the isomer shift of various ion compounds. Now, ferrous ions have larger, positive isomer shift. This is 0. Ferrous ions, Fe2 plus, have larger positive isomer shift, whereas lower ferric ions have lower isomer shift. Why? Because in Fe2 plus 3d6, in Fe3 plus 3d5, there are more d orbital electrons. For example, here Fe5 there are 3d3, there are 3 d electrons only, therefore less shielding effect. Less shielding effect means it shifted negative. More shielding effect means it shifted in the positive direction. You see, 3d6 has less more shielding effect, therefore less electron density, therefore it is shifted towards positive. Okay, and if there is less electron d3, more s electron density in this case, therefore it is shifted in the negative direction. The isomer shift is shifted, the isomer shift is moved in the negative direction. So different ion compounds, they have different isomer shift values, isomer shift ranges with respect to alpha ion metal. There are some isomer shift ranges overlapping. It can be sorted out, it can be separated by studying magnetic nuclear Zeeman splitting. We'll be studying later. So what is the uses of isomer shift value? Isomer shift is represented by del, we have earlier seen. What is the unit of energy, or what is the unit of isomer shift? The velocity of the source, velocity of the mass by a drive, millimeter per second. It reflects the isomer shift, reflects the magnitude of s electron density at the nucleus. What is the electron density present at the nucleus? Isomer shift value gives the s electron density at the nucleus. It is also used in determining the oxidation state, spin state, nature of bonds, especially ionic bond or coordinate bond, covalent bond, coordination, number of ion atom, etc. For example, the oxidation state of ion of this complex is determined by isomer shift. In the case of Fe2+, the isomer shift value is 0.7 millimeter per second, whereas in the case of Fe3+, the isomer shift value is 0.3 millimeter per second. So, from the isomer shift value, the oxidation state of ion complex is determined. Good morning, welcome back. Let us continue mass pair spectroscopy part 3. In part 3, we will study the zero field mass pair spectra. It occurs due to nuclear quadrupole splitting. What is called zero field mass pair spectra? Okay. In part 1, mass pair spectroscopy, we have studied the basic principle, especially recoil energy and Doppler shift. These are the two important terms needed to understand nuclear gamma ray resonance spectroscopy. We have clearly explained in part 1. Please watch part 1, and part 2 we have studied the instrumentation and one of the mass pair spectral parameter isomer shift, which is obtained from the mass pair spectrum. There are three important parameters obtained from mass pair spectrum. They are isomer shift, quadrupole splitting, magnetic splitting. In this part 3, we will study about quadrupole splitting. The spectrum obtained due to quadrupole splitting is called zero field mass pair spectroscopy. So, what is nuclear quadrupole splitting? It occurs in mass pair spectrum. We have already studied what is called nuclear quadrupole splitting, nuclear quadrupole resonance spectroscopy in NQR spectroscopy. Please watch the NQR spectroscopy lesson. I have explained nuclear quadrupole very clearly, what is called a nuclear quadrupole. In this also we will study nuclear quadrupole interactions, splits the mass pair spectrum into two lines. In the isomer shift you have only one line, okay, whereas due to quadrupole splitting the spectrum splits into two lines. We'll see, this is the source, the energy level splitting diagram for the source. This is the energy level splitting, nuclear energy level splitting diagram for sample. If two are same, then there will be no isomer shift. Okay, because of the difference in chemical environment in the sample. The sample is maybe FeCl3 or iron heme or hemoglobin iron sulfur cluster. Because of the difference in chemical ligand environment, the splitting will be different. The splitting will be larger than this, or the splitting may be lower than this. So if the splitting is larger, the energy gap is larger, the energy of the gamma ray is not sufficient enough to match this energy gap to undergo resonance transition. Therefore, Doppler effect is used, we have studied. The source is moved towards the sample. The source is moved towards the sample so that due to Doppler effect, the gamma ray energy is increased due to Doppler shift as it is moving towards the sample. The gamma ray energy is increased as train is moving towards you. The sound increase, the sound is high. As the train is leaving, is moving away from you, the sound is decreasing. The same Doppler effect is used to observe the mass wire spectrum here. Okay, so due to quadrupole splitting in the presence of asymmetrical electronic environment, asymmetric electric field gradient, the excited nuclear level splits into two levels. Therefore, here only one peak is obtained, or one transition, one peak. Here there are two transitions, therefore there are two peaks. The centroid of the spectrum, this is the mass wire spectrum due to quadrupole splitting, that is zero field mass wire. This spectrum is called zero field mass wire spectrum because in the presence of, not in the presence of magnetic field. The doublet line is obtained in the absence of magnetic field due to quadrupole splitting. This is called quadrupole doublet. The centroid, this is the center of the spectrum. The centroid of the spectrum gives the isomer shift. The difference between the two lines gives the quadrupole splitting. Okay. Why quadrupole moment arises? Why quadrupole splitting arises? Any nuclei with the nuclear spin greater than 1 by 2, that is I equal to 1, 2, 3 or 3 by 2, 5 by 2, I equal to 1 by 2, then quadrupole moment is 0. The nuclear quadrupoles, there will be no quadrupole splitting, there will be no quadrupole moment. For I greater than 1 by 2, then there exists for nuclei with I greater than 1 by 2. For example, iron 57, I equal to 3 by 2. It is greater than 1 by 2. Therefore, it exhibits nuclear electric quadrupole moment. It is represented by Q or EQ, where E is the electronic charge. Okay. What is Q? Q is a measure of deviation of nuclear charge from spherical symmetry. For I equal to 1 by 2, the nuclear charge is spherically symmetric. For I greater than 1 by 2, the nuclear charge deviates away from the spherical symmetry. Now, the quadrupole moment, it is a tensor, it is a tensor quantity. Therefore, it interacts with the electric field vector. The EQ, the electric quadrupole moment, couples with the electric field vector, electric field tensor gradient. Therefore, to give E capital Q into E small q equal to E square capital Q, this is called nuclear quadrupole coupling constant. This electric field gradient arises due to asymmetric electronic charge distribution. Asymmetric electronic charge distribution. Yes, it arises due to asymmetric Ligand coordination. We will see further. So, what is quadrupole splitting? It is represented by delta EQ, capital Q. Any nuclei with the angular momentum quantum number I greater than 1 by 2, nuclear spin angular momentum quantum number, have a non-spherical charge distribution. You see, they have nuclear charge, non-spherical charge, nuclear charge distribution. This gives a nuclear quadrupole moment. Now, in the presence of asymmetric electronic charge, electric field produced by asymmetric electronic charge distribution or due to ligand arrangement, coordination. This splits the I equal to 3 by 2 nuclear level into 2. Okay. The asymmetric electronic charge distribution is called electric field gradient. In the case of an isotope with I greater than or I equal to 3 by 2, the excited state is split into the excited state I equal to 3 by 2 splits into two levels or two substates, two doublets. Therefore, it gives two line spectrum in the Moss bias. The quadrupole splitting Moss Bayer spectra is called zero field Moss Bayer spectra because the splitting occurs in the absence of external magnetic field. There is no magnetic field applied here. In the absence of magnetic field, the spectral line splits into two. It occurs due to asymmetric electronic charge distribution. This asymmetric charge distribution splits only the nuclear excited energy level to two levels to give two line spectra. The mathematical form of nuclear quadrupole splitting is expressed here. The mathematical equation to calculate the nuclear quadrupole splitting delta Q is also given here. The nuclear quadrupole moment, the nuclear quadrupole coupling or the nuclear quadrupole energy is a physically observable quantity. According to the postulates of quantum mechanics, for every physically observable quantity, there corresponds an operator. So, this is the nuclear quadrupole moment is a physically observable quantity. There corresponds an operator for this. The Hamiltonian operator for nuclear quadrupole moment is given here. HQ E capital Q Z divided by 12 3 square minus 15 by 4 plus eta ix whole square minus iy square. Okay, where eta is called asymmetry parameter. Whether there is any asymmetric electronic charge distribution. Okay, where qx, qy, qxx, qyy, qz are the principal components of the electric field gradient tensor along the x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, whereas ix, iy, iz are the nuclear spin quantum number along nuclear spin component along the x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. The mathematical expression to calculate the quadrupole splitting is equal to delta EQ equal to E capital Q z divided by 2 square root of 1 plus eta square divided by 3. Using this equation, the nuclear quadrupole splitting is theoretically calculated. From the experimental spectrum also the nuclear quadrupole splitting is obtained. There are several ion complexes in different oxidation states, Fe2, Fe3 or different spin states. So, in the asymmetric electronic environment, in the asymmetric charge distribution environment, all these complexes give doublets, but with the different quadrupole splitting delta EQ. We will see few examples next. See, there are several ion compounds, or there are several ion containing enzymes, proteins, dioxygenase, a protein, cytochrome C, electron transfer protein. It is in the Fe2 plus state, in low spin state, See, in the low spin, the delta, this is the isomer shift. The centroid of the spectrum gives the isomer shift. The delta EQ is smaller, whereas in high spin it is larger. So we can determine the spin state or oxidation state from the delta EQ. Delta EQ, hyperfine splitting. For example, these are called quadrupole doublets. These are called quadrupole doublets. For high spin ion 2 and ion 3, high spin, both Fe2 and Fe3 are in high spin state, which has larger delta nuclear quadrupole splitting. You see, Fe2 plus in high spin state exhibits larger quadrupole splitting. Okay. Moss-Bayer spectroscopy is also called nuclear gamma ray resonance spectroscopy because gamma radiation is used to cause nuclear state transitions. So it is called nuclear gamma ray resonance spectroscopy. In part 1, we have studied the discovery and the basic principle. In part 1, we have studied the basic principle. Recoil energy and the Doppler shift are used to understand the Moss-Bayer spectroscopy. In part 2, we have discussed the instrumentation and isomer shift. In part 3, we have discussed the quadrupole splitting occurs due to nuclear quadrupole moment with I greater than 1/2. In this part 4, we will study about magnetic Zeeman interactions and the important applications of Moss-Bayer spectroscopy. In the presence of external magnetic field, in the presence of applied magnetic field, the nuclear, what is called magnetic splitting. In this, we will study what is hyperfine splitting or magnetic splitting or Zeeman splitting. In the presence of external magnetic field, when you apply magnetic field, the nuclear spin moment undergoes dipolar interaction with the magnetic field, that is called Zeeman splitting. In the presence of magnetic field, the nuclear energy levels are further split. Okay, the nuclear energy levels are in the previous part 3 we have studied the nuclear quadrupole interaction splits the nuclear energy levels. In this case, the applied magnetic field further splits the energy level diagrams. We will see further. There are many sources of magnetic field within the nuclei. And we are applying the external magnetic field. There are also magnetic field within the nuclei, that is B internal, B applied. The total magnetic field at the nucleus is given by B effective equal to B internal plus B applied. B internal, the B internal is made up of 3 components: B contact, B Fermi contact, orbital, B magnetic field due to dipolar interactions. B contact is also called magnetic field due to Fermi contact. It is due to the spin density, S electron spin density at the nucleus. We have already studied isomer shift. S electron spin density, which has a magnetic moment, interacts with the nuclear spin moment, and the orbital motion of electron. There are several electrons in ion nuclei, ion atom. Due to orbital moment of the electrons, the magnetic field B orbital is produced is generated at the nucleus due to the orbital motion of the electrons, 3D electron, etc. B dipolar is due to dipolar interaction due, due to the spin of electrons. For example, d5, there are 5 unpaired electrons. There will be dipole interaction between the unpaired electrons. So this magnetic field splits the nuclear levels with a spin of I into 2I plus 1 substates. For example, I 3 by 2. 2 into I 3 by 2 plus 1, 4 states. I 3 by 2 splits into 4 states. I 1 by 2 splits, I equal to 1 by 2 splits into 2 states. This is the energy level splitting diagram in the presence of external magnetic field. This is shown in figure. Using the selection rule delta Mi equal to 0, 1, there are 6 lines observed called sextet as shown. There are 6 lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as shown in the mass pair spectrum of iron nuclei. Actually, from the energy level splitting diagram, there are 8 transitions. There are 8 possible transitions. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, from I equal to minus 1 by 2, there are 4 transitions, and then from I equal to plus 1 by 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 8 possible transitions, but only 6 occurs. Only 6 occurs due to the selection rule delta Mi equal to 0 plus or minus 1. Okay. The nuclear energy level diagram. The nuclear energy level diagrams in different states of iron 57 are obtained here. This is the ground state, I equal to 1 by 2, I equal to 3 by 2. If the source and sample are the same, then it is unperturbed isomer. There will be 0 isomer shift. There is no need to oscillate the source. There is no need to oscillate the source because the source and the sample are the same. Therefore, V equal to 0. In the case of compounds of iron, because of the difference in the chemical environment between the sample, source and the sample, the energy levels are different. The energy levels, nuclear energy levels are affected. So there will be isomer shift 0. So this is the isomer shift I have shown here because of the difference in the chemical environment. In the case of iron compounds, due to nuclear quadrupole moment interacts with the asymmetric electronic arrangement environment, electric field gradient, the quadrupole splitting arises. This splits into 2 because of nuclear quadrupole moment. For I equal to 1 by 2, nuclear quadrupole moment is 0. Therefore, it does not split. Here it splits because I equal to 3 by 2, I greater than 3 by 2. It is the nucleus is away from the spherical symmetry at this nuclear spin state, I equal to 3 by 2. Therefore, there are 2 quadrupole doublet is obtained, delta EQ quadrupole splitting, and in the presence of external magnetic field, the degeneracy is lost. So you will get sextet line in the mass pair spectrum due to Zeeman splitting. So due to nuclear Zeeman interaction, sextet spectrum is obtained. Let us take the extreme, the energy difference, energy gap between the extreme lines. This is A, B, A, and this is B, the energy gap. If A equal to B, or A minus B equal to 0, then the ion complex is in perfectly cubic symmetry or octahedral symmetry. Okay, so from the hyperfine splitting spectrum, we can infer that the spectrum is octahedral symmetry, or there is asymmetrical coordination arrangement. If A not equal to B, then the ion complex is not cubic symmetry, it's not perfectly octahedral symmetry, that is asymmetric environment with the electric field gradient. In nuclear quadrupole splitting, it will give two lines. Here there will be no splitting, nuclear quadrupole splitting, because it is cubical symmetry. What are the important applications of mass wire spectroscopy? The combination of isomer shift, quadrupole splitting, hyperfine splitting in the magnetic phases is used to identify, determine the valence state, spin state, coordination state, etc. Site occupancy, whether ion is present in tetrahedral holes or octahedral holes. Please study the solid state in a given site, given mineral. It has found wide application in elucidating the nature of chemical bond in inorganic solid state chemistry, and also in checking the purity of gold. Ion mass spectroscopy is commercially used to check the purity of the gold. It is also used in biological science, bonding in hemoglobin, oxyhemoglobin in red blood cells, sickle cell anemia, blood disorder, blood cancer, iron sulfur clusters, etc. Let us study the application, simple application of mass wire spectroscopy to study the geometry. There are two cases. For example, FeL6, FeH2O 6 times. The complex is perfectly octahedral, perfectly cubic symmetry. Then there will be no nuclear quadrupole moment. There will be nuclear quadrupole moment. There is no electric field gradient. Therefore, quadrupole splitting does not arise here. Only one line mass wire spectrum is obtained because of cubic symmetry. In the case of asymmetric, not octahedral geometry, not cubic environment, as in this case, there will be quadrupole splitting because of electric field gradient due to asymmetric arrangement. It gives nuclear quadrupole splitting, quadrupole doublet. From the mass wire spectrum, we can understand the geometry and also the coordination environment studied. Let us study its application in biology. For example, heme in hemoglobin, myoglobin in red blood cells, in cytochrome C give different mass wire spectra because of different coordination. For example, different oxidation state, different spin state, different coordination environment upon oxygenation, deoxygenation, binding with the carbon monoxide poisoning, suffocation, or NO binding. Because of NO binding, because of CO binding, there will be quadrupole splitting because of the different coordination environment. These will give different delta EQ value. From the delta EQ value, whether CO poisoning has occurred or sickle cell anemia, the person is affected due to sickle cell anemia and other disorders, blood disorders, etc. Mass wire spectroscopy is also used to study the iron sulfur clusters. There are three types of iron sulfur clusters: 4 iron 4 sulfur cluster, 3 iron 4 sulfur cluster, 2 iron 2 sulfur cluster. The different iron sulfur clusters will give different chemical shift values, will give different quadrupole splitting values. From the isomer shift, quadrupole split, quadrupole splitting values, the we can identify the iron sulfur clusters. These iron sulfur clusters play important role in mitochondrial electron transport chain. So far, we have studied the applications of mass pair spectroscopy in chemistry, biology, etc. In this, let us study the applications in mineralogy and geology. It is used to study the local atomic environment around the mass wire active nuclei in a solid minerals. In mineralogy, it is used to determine the redox ratios. For example, in iron sulfur cluster, Fe2 plus Fe3 plus both are present. What are the ratios in crystal? In octahedral site, Fe2 plus Fe3 plus will be there. Tetrahedral, octahedral holes. So redox ratios, spin valency state, the site occupation of polyhedral atoms in the crystal structure. There are three major important applications of mass pair spectroscopy in geology. Qualitative and quantitative analysis. It is used to perform quantitative analysis of mass pair active element in mineral phases, not only in crystalline state but also in amorphous. It is used to study in amorphous state also, or poorly crystalline state where diffraction method fails. It gives important information on chemical bonding, short range order, especially found in amorphous minerals. It is also used in characterization of magnetism in iron minerals. For example, whether the mineral obtained is ferromagnetic, ferrimagnetic, or antiferromagnetic. Mass pair spectroscopy is an excellent tool for studying the microenvironments, the magnetic interactions, local magnetic interactions, to study the general nature of magnetic ordering, whether there is any magnetic ordering, magnetic coupling, Fe2 plus Fe3 plus in minerals. In other words, it can help determine whether a mineral obtained is ferromagnetic, ferrimagnetic, or antiferromagnetic. The third important application is grain size determination. The size of the ferromagnetic minerals or ferrimagnetic minerals can be determined. The grain size distribution of ferromagnetic, antiferromagnetic iron minerals, oxides and other compounds can also be determined. This application is also used in other fields such as archaeology, fine arts, etc. Analysis of meteorites. It is used to discover a new phase, whether a new phase is present in iron nickel alloys of meteorites.